for whatever reason, defensively, that is where I want to start because that has been the most concerning. And when I say defensively, I don't even just mean Oliver Zemla in net without Andre Blake, who's injured, or the back line. Yes, that's a key part of it too. But as Jim Curtin has mentioned time and time again, including post-game, this team, much like every team, you defend as a unit. It works all the way through. Obviously, no Julian Carranza, which drastically impacts the offense, but you wonder how much it also does impact the defense. He's one that high presses as a forward, high presses the opponent's back line. And the hardest thing when you talk about those stats, JP, as you mentioned, this was a game the Union actually had the better possession. 61% is major. That wasn't like a 51 to 49%. Major possession, 29 shots in the game to Orlando's 13, only 6 of them on target, which is a concern in itself. But they were creating chances. They were getting in the box. They drew 2 penalty kicks.
Oh, man.
And still lost the game.
Talk about that, too.
So defensively, and we'll get into the offense, too, because that is a part of this. Defensively, you still found a way. Even up, they finally score first. Finally get on the scoreboard in the first half with a goal by Mikel Ua. Beautiful pass from Nate Harriel. Perfectly played, perfectly timed. Split the defenders, finds Mikel Ua. Honestly, a split second sooner or later on that pass, and it's not making it. Beautiful play, sets it up. You're up 1-0, and then you end up down 3-1 from that goal all the way to the first 20 seconds of the second half. That's unacceptable.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the defense is the most alarming part about it. You know, we were talking about Evan last week. We talked about how the wings for Orlando were the weak spot because of injury. So you're playing 2 wings out there on the left and the right-hand side who are not very comfortable in those positions there. So Orlando didn't have their best starting 11. The Union, besides Carranza being out, and I thought Lowe had a great game as well. We didn't have Elliott. It was Lowe instead. But other than that, it was a strong starting 11 for the Philadelphia Union, and yet they still could not exploit their weaknesses. Instead, Renee, Orlando had a game plan, and they fulfilled that game plan through and through by forcing the Union to attack from that low block. Essentially, once they got to the final third, they were like, Orlando was like, here, Philly, you take the ball. Now you try to attack. And then once Philly was coming out of that low block, then Orlando would pounce on them, create those turnovers. And again, we've talked about it. That transition defense needs to pick it up. And it's just, again, it happened. And so, you look at some of these goals, like that first goal, you cannot. Wagner needs to communicate with Gleznes. Duncan McGuire, we really drove that point through in that preview show. He's a beast. Yeah. He's playing this season pissed off because of what happened with Blackburn. And so here he comes. Wagner loses him, doesn't communicate with Gleznes, and Duncan does a great job of getting it in. Typically, that goal, the third goal as well, Blake probably stops that. I get that. But Blake's not here. You got to help out Zemla. Zemla's done a solid job. Yeah. But with a young goalkeeper, you need to help him out. And I just feel like we haven't helped him out as much as possible. The Muriel goal, the second goal, the first of Muriel's goal in the night, I mean, that was a screaming goal. Jack McGlynn, who definitely has done a better job defensively, could have done a better job of being a little more physical, getting in the face of Luis Muriel. But we're talking about Orlando resurrecting their attack this season. Muriel got his first 2 goals in Chester, Pennsylvania. And we'll talk about Damien's comments after the game because I thought that was great. I love seeing that from Damien. But overall, you cannot allow a team like Orlando to fulfill their game plan through and through. Where's your game plan? Where's the fight back from this Union team? So, we talk about it. Can they bounce back after yet again another loss? Are you pissed off? Where's that energy? Renee, I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it yet for a full 90 minutes, and this is concerning.
It's very concerning. Honestly, in the opening minutes, there was a great chance that Orlando had that ricocheted off the near post and did not go in. As much as it was frustrating to say that they lost the lead, the Union actually didn't really start strong either. They created a lot of chances, but what we keep seeing consistently is that the Union will be on the attack, and their opponent comes down, and their first chance is a near goal. And again, it's not just on Oliver Zemla. They're getting into really dangerous spaces on the pitch, in the 6, in and around the box. And as they're receiving it, you're getting them wide. They're getting wide open looks on net. As much as we can say Andre Blake might have saved that goal for any of the goals they've given up, any 12 of the goals in the last 5 games, why does the Union defensively keep giving their opponents opportunities wide open where they're able to take a touch and have nothing but green in front of them to have time to get their head up and take a shot and bury it. This is the MLS. These teams are too good for that. And the Union are giving guys way too much time and space. They're not communicating as players are running through. They're not communicating as to help defense to step and close out. And we saw this at the end of last season, and we're seeing it again now, that teams are punishing them because they're just giving them way too much time and space around the goal. And it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable at this point. And so when you point at, yes, you can say for the center backs even, of the three of them, who are the best two? And I think, honestly, Jim Curtin's going to continue to rotate. I don't think there's a hierarchy in the same sense of, like, clear-cut who's better and who's the 1, 2, or 3 up for center backs. In the midfield, I've noticed this, and I've been saying this. There are times the midfield is not getting back on defense. Mm-hmm. They're not matching up. You talked about it with Jack. We've seen it with Jose, Jack, Quinn. They're not defending, and they're allowing those late runners to come into the box wide open for chances. It's just been a snowball effect or ripple effect of continuous errors that are mounting into now losses. The first games of the season, we saw this, and this is where I get a little triggered because I feel like I've said this many, many times before. We kept seeing them having these errors, but we'd say, oh, it's okay. The Union are still unbeaten. Oh, it's okay. They're still undefeated on the road. Oh, it's okay. They're still the lone team unbeaten. They lose 6-0 to Pachuca. Oh, it's okay. They just are tired. There's so many excuses we made. Even this past weekend, we can make the excuse, no Julian Carranza, it's fine. But on the other side, Orlando didn't have a number of their players. They were without their back line was a piecemeal back line, and the Union still could not beat them.
And you could tell that Orlando was definitely desperate for a result. I mean, the way they were just playing all through. And what sucks too is that, like, we had a lead. Like, Nate Harriel found Mikel Ua, and a great job. You get the lead. That was a great play, great teamwork. And, like, you should be able to hold on to that lead. Like, that's the thing. This Union team, when they're playing from behind, that's not a recipe for success for this club. They want to get the early lead. They want to hold on to the lead. They want to play their defense, play their Union style of soccer. And so when you had that lead, you're thinking to yourself, like, okay, we got this. But then defensive miscues happen, and now it's 2-1 heading into halftime, and then it's 3-1. Now, luckily, like, that's the thing too. Like, this match, you can't kill the attack whatsoever because you had the PK, and then you had the second PK opportunity, which, Daniel Gaz, like we talk about, like, he's automatic, but you know how hard it is to knock every single one of your penalty kicks, especially going up against one of the best goalkeepers in this league as well, Pedro Galice. So it's just a tough spot to kind of put yourself in if you're the Union, to just kind of allow this game to kind of fall through you. Quinn Sullivan's opportunity, yes, that should have been a goal. I thought that we were on sides on that one. It's unfortunate that got called back. But I think more concerning here, the attack, we kill the attack week by week. But right now, the problem with the Union is defense. It's team defense. You can't allow 3 goals to happen. As our boy Tyler has a little tidbit here for us. The Union have 2 or less points more than Orlando City, who has a -6 goal differential. Montreal, who's have a -8 goal differential. Nashville's a -5 goal differential. And Chicago with a -10 goal differential. Like, it's just absolutely wild. I just saw it now. The Union have allowed thus far this season 19 goals, Renee. 19. We're not even at summertime. That's just not Union soccer. To allow 19 goals through these many amount of matches, it's absolutely wild. And this is what we're talking about. This team hasn't won in their last 5 because defensively, we're not playing up to par what we're used to here. So they're going to have to figure this out. I do not know how they'll do it because, honestly, it's fundamentals. Like, I don't even think – I think the players that we have back there still have what it takes, but where are the fundamentals? Where's the communication? These are things that we're just yelling about after every single match here.
Yeah, that's the exact key. And Tyler, thanks for sharing those nuggets of how the Union have been playing, because one of the other things that I want to hit on and circle back to after we finish talking about the offense is the opponents that the Union are giving up points to are struggling opponents.
Yeah.
But offensively, I'll circle back to that. Offensively, as we talk through, it is frustrating and very deflating when you're generating 10, 15, 29 chances. Again, only 6 of them on frame, but 29 chances that you're creating, and then you go down and your team gives up a goal. Yeah. It's such a momentum killer. It's so frustrating, and it's so tough because now every time you're trying to rally to score, you're getting the ball out of your own net. And so I do feel like it starts on the defensive side. If in any of these games, you're getting a clean sheet, you're winning this game. Again, 3-2, 3-2, 2-2, 2-1. If you can get a clean sheet, that's a win. Yeah. You are scoring. There was a time, I remember us talking on the show about the lack of offensive production and the inability to score. The Union were doing the opposite. Getting outpossessed, not generating shots, not really getting into their attack, not sustaining possession in their attack, that's for sure. And yet, this season, they've actually been able to do that. You look at all of their games, they've scored in every game except for Pachuca. They've been scoring goals. They've been finding the back of the net. That is one of the definite positives about this team. Would I have liked them to have gotten a second goal earlier or even a third goal to tie things up, because they definitely had chances between Quinn Sullivan's opportunity, the penalty kick. They had some others in the run of play that were really good looks. Ali Bedoya had a couple crosses to him. They generated really good chances. And I do think the composure around the goal can be better.
Yeah.
Of getting those at least on frame. Some of those are point blank that if you at least get them on frame, it should be a goal. But again, I do see the other side that it's frustrating to be on the attack, and come right down, gave up a goal. And there are those stretches that teams sometimes have where you just cannot defensively get it figured out. But I don't even understand how we got here, why we got here, and how they can fix it.